Thank you to BFPgear.com for sponsoring Reno Reckoning for the 2025 paintball season. BFPgear.com has all your paintball supply needs with competitive pricing and fast shipping. Be sure to shop at BFPgear.com during the 2025 paintball season.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I have kind of an unboxing and cleaning video right now. I've acquired something pretty special. If you haven't already seen the short, go ahead and check that out. But this is the follow-up video to that short that I posted, and I'll just jump right into what it is. Obviously from field one, you know it's going to be a force, but we'll go ahead and get right into it. So right off, we have a pretty famous paintball marker here from this 2024 season, if you know. This was Archie Montemayor's Field 1 V2 Dragon Force. It is his marker. I did acquire it from him. Just trying to show a good image there. It does have the custom Project foregrip there. But yeah, it is still your basic force, V2 force. Many kills with this. But I just want to thank Archie for allowing me to acquire this from him. Much appreciated. It is staying within the Dynasty community. And good luck to you in the 2025 season. Sad to see you go. But again, thank you for allowing me to acquire this from you. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to do the cleaning here. It is a bit dirty. I'm just going to wipe, do like a pre-wipe, get all this stuff off, all the grease, all the dirt. And then we'll do a real in-depth detailing of it. But yeah, when it was announced he was leaving Dynasty, I had reached out to him, and he's really cool, and had a discussion and was able to acquire this. So that's how we ended up with it. I'll probably never sell it. Today is December 31st, so New Year's Eve day. I'll be playing this coming weekend on Sunday, so I will get to use this. And I will do a some gameplay footage using it, so then you guys will be able to see the video of that. I'm going to break this thing down pretty far. To get all the like gritty dirt off of it. Probably have to just yank this, but I really don't want to have to pry it off. But we'll get into that. Pull the battery out just for this. Easily handle it without it flopping around. And pop the eye covers off. Ugh. This just kind of shows that forces are extremely reliable and durable. And these things are like tanks. You know, I have 2 of them and have had no issues with either. So if you haven't shot one, I'd recommend it. It is a different shot than most markers on the market, but I don't know, I really like them. I like all paintball markers, you know, the higher end ones. There's some that I haven't shot, like a Lux. I have not used one of those. Or one of the new Shocker eras. But, you know, at a certain level of high-end paintball marker, you're at the level of mostly comparing them just based on their individualized function or the way they shoot, because they all shoot really nice. You could debate, you know, which one's better, this and that, but, you know, we all know they all shoot the same distance, the same feet per second. It's just what feels better ergonomically, what the sound signature, if if you're really into which one sounds better to you or whatever. But overall, all the markers are really nice. Some may be a little more finicky, I guess you'd say, than others, but yeah, they're all really nice. I actually haven't shot the new dye marker either, the MXR. Those look nice. Seem to have some problems when they first came out. Looks like dye may have figured that out or whatever, but All right, I'm actually going to pop the frame off here. And this is pretty dirty to my standards. No offense, Archie. But this might turn into like a 2-part video. We'll just see how it goes lengthwise. Not bad. Maintenance is really easy on forces. If you know what you're doing, for the most part, maintenance is easy on all markers, but forces are pretty simplistic and strong like tanks. So it's really just good wipe downs, re-grease, and back to action. But I want this thing flawless for this weekend, so we're going to break it down pretty far. And re-lube really well. All right, just a quick what I've done here. So I popped the eye covers off, took out the eyes, the D10s, took those out. I'm going to get the feed neck off. It's pretty tight on there, but I don't want to pry at the, trying to get that off. So we'll mess with that near the end. Taking the body of the marker and the frame off, and then the ASA to get into the rag, to grease up the rag and clean that up as well. And there's pretty dirty too. But yeah, so we'll just keep chugging along here. Pull out the rag stack. The grease all over it. Wipe that off. We'll obviously reapply all new grease. Let's see. Get a little more organized here. So grip screws, reg stack, O-ring for the piston there. Dirty eyes and eye covers. How was everyone's Christmas? You guys get anything good? Any markers? Any new gear for the season? Anyone pumped for the new season? I myself am pretty pumped up for the 2025 season. Especially to use this. I'll still always favor like my LV2, my Egos. Grew up shooting those in autocockers, so they just feel really good in my hands, but so does the Force ever since I acquired my first one. I'm big on ergonomics, as I mentioned before in previous videos. 45 grip is the most natural grip your hand will ever do. When you go to point, your hand's in a 45 grip. So I really like the 45 grip on markers. I had an LV1, and that had that weird kind of grip that was not at a 45-degree angle, and I never got used to it. And so when the 2 came out, and the 2 is a little thin compared to the 1, but it's still almost a natural 45 grip. So then when I saw the LV2 come out, that was a must-have, also because it got rid of the AT pipe. But then it was like bringing it back to original style Ego grips, but with new school technology. Other than the eyes, the wire eyes, it'd been cool if they could do something like this, but obviously with the parts they use and stuff, it's just different in the way the gun functions. Sorry, marker. We don't want to get kicked off anything for using that term. Okay, so we got the eyes cleaned up. Do the feed neck screw here. I like to clean as I go, so then when I'm finally clean, like the body and everything, it's just kind of put it all back together without having to clean everything up as you're putting it back. And since it's such a special marker, I'm going to do, like just a real deep clean on it. And then it'll just be maintenance from there. Okay. I also clean the screws, like the threads. They can get gritty, and then you're grinding dirt into your threads in the body. So I always wipe off the screws on a deep dive clean like this. I also clean out like the hole where the wrench goes in. Get them cleaned up, shiny again. All right. Just these little ones, and then we'll jump into doing the rag parts. Let's turn that off. So you grab a dental pick, kind of dig out of the screw head. The little ones can't fit a Q-tip in, so there we go. Okay. So we have the eyes and eye covers cleaned, the feed neck parts, the lever cleaned up, all the screws cleaned up, and we have the rag parts over here. So we'll go ahead and clean up these screws. These are actually the grip screws. All right. Grip screws cleaned, and then that O-ring's cleaned up. So we'll get into the reg stack here. And guys, all I do is really just wipe everything off and then start over. Re-lube with the grease. And then for any like settings, regular NXL. And then just chrono it. If then there's issues from there, then we'll tinker around and adjust or clean out regulators or whatever, right? You know, whatever needs to be done, change O-rings. Like this, this needs to be taken apart to clean up really well. I don't think I've ever taken one apart, so this will be kind of a mystery here. There we go. Well, that's pretty simple design. Whatever you do, do not lose that little ball. But if you do take that apart, make sure to not lose that little ball, and then, you know, wipe all this down really well. There we go. And let's see. I don't know how this comes apart. Like that. Just push the screw and it falls out. Or turn the screw. And this has a little O-ring as well. So obviously we will grease that up. Little trick is I rip off the tip of the Q-tips, and then dig around in the screw hole and cleans out those, like the heads of all the screws. There we go. Okay. So that's cleaned. Get that cleaned up really well. Let's see what's going on here. Oh yeah, it's dirty down in there. There it is. That's my dog. If you heard that growling and heavy breathing, if you can hear that barking, he doesn't like anyone walking by the house. It's his territory. And I have bushes in my front yard. If anyone's walking by and their dog urinates on there, pees on those bushes, when we go for a walk, he's got to pee on them, smell them, pee on them, and then we can go. He's territorial. Super nice dog. Won't ever bite or hurt anyone. But this is his house. I just pay the rent. I don't know if this piece can come out or how it would, but I don't really want to take it out. You can see down in there, the pin got pushed back. Just push that forward again. But what we'll do is we'll spray all that out of there. Wipe it off. All right. So that's cleaned. We can put it back together to make things easy. For grease, I'll use a couple different ones. I'll use the Dynasty stuff that they give. What is that other stuff? Hater sauce, the red and the like greenish blue. But I've been using this stuff recently on all my markers the stuff's really old. It's made by Outlast. I've mentioned this in other videos as well. I just have this little like tester bottle, but I have more bottles of it. But Outlast HMP, electro-pneumatic gun lubricant, replaces grease. Clean parts to remove old oil before using HMP for the first time. So that is what we're doing here. They also make marker oil, Outlast KC Trouble Free. I've been using this stuff for 24 years. This stuff came out around like 2004 or 5. The grease, when spool valves started becoming more dominant and being made more. But the oil, this stuff's amazing. No issues with it ever for the 24 years. All right, so this O-ring, just gonna put a dab on there, just kind of coat it, not actually put any like blob or anything on there, just a little bit of coating on there, and then drop it back down. I'll use a little dental pick to get it seated. Yep. Okay, good. And then we got to get this back on there. Be sure not to lose that little ball, little bearing. Like that. It'll snap in, and then when you hold it on there and then turn it, it'll do the click as if it was aired up. So you'll feel it, that it's in the right spot. Then the screw that holds it in place. Tighten this one down a little just so it doesn't come loose. There we go. And then you know what, I messed that up. I should have put just a dab of grease on this, since it's just gonna be kind of moving around in here. Nothing crazy, just enough to everything moves smoothly. There we go. So off, on, snaps in, and then this piece, you'll want to grease this O-ring really well. And drop that in place, and then do the reverse to bring it back down. And then obviously I'll have to chrono, so I'll just kind of get it reset to flush, standard, whatever. And then now the frame, we want to clean out where the stack goes, and we'll re-lube that. Or just put like a dab in here to kind of line the wall in there, and then put the O-ring back on. Lube the O-ring. And then that should slide in there really nice. So there you go. And then there is an O-ring. Let's see, it's going to be hard to see on the camera, but there's an O-ring just in this hole right past there. It's not the one I put down in there. It's another one. So you just want to get like a little dab of grease on there as well, because the the piston goes through there. And then wipe that off. Okay, so then that's back, and then we just need the screws here, and we will have our frame back together. Crank them down a little bit, not crazy, but you don't want this loose while playing. All right. I'm going to pull the trigger out as well. That's real gritty in there. So clean the screw off. Wipe the trigger all off. Oh yeah, back in there, dirty. What I like about the Forces as well is they have the scythe style trigger, just as I mentioned when I did the install of the scythe trigger on my 180. I love the shape. It's one of those things to me where, you know, you have the ergonomically correct 45-degree frame along with the trigger of the scythe style. It just feels perfect. Not to say any other triggers are bad, but again, it's just preference. Feels good. I am not going to take out the solenoid and stuff here. That should be fine. I will blow canned air through here. And then clean all in between there. So what I'm doing is getting down where the trigger hits back in there. The bearing sounds a little gritty, but what we'll do is the gun oil I have just in this like little dropper bottle. Wipe that off better. Let's put a little drop in there. It'll soak in and move real smoothly. Wipe that off. All right, trigger back in. With the still a little gritty. It's in the screw holes. Over time, that should come out. Could try to blow some air through there real quick. Definitely don't want to lose that. They just blew out. It's like the little seat that holds it. Perfect. Do one more blast. Yeah, this little thing, do not lose this. It's like the spacer. It's kind of hard to see, but it goes right in that little groove in there. If you're new to gun teching or cleaning in depth, I recommend getting some dental picks. They work really well. You can get cheap ones, expensive ones, it doesn't really matter. If you're going to be really picking at things, you want to get some strong ones so the tips don't bend. But you could get them at Harbor Freight if you have one of those nearby. You can acquire them very cheap from there. All right, now the screw back in to hold the trigger. Perfect. Okay. So now trigger frame is good. We just have, I'm going to clean the grips off with a toothbrush. And then we have the bolt, the nucleus drive, and then the body itself. We'll do a little more detailing on this thing. And then down in there is pretty gnarly, dirty wise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video so then I can clean up these grips, and then we will come back. So be right back.